no, like this is, and then Trump literally like swatted his hand away and said, and pointed to the thing and said, no, watch, and then the South African president, I was looking at him and he was just like, he had kind of one of those like, oh my goodness, like this is, like what can I do about this, so he definitely seemed exasperated with it, the South African president. Then you look, I was standing right across from those two golfers, Ernie Els and Retief Goosen. Ernie Els had his hands on his hips and he just like, oh geez, it just looked like he was just like, he was just totally dejected. Goosen just had his hands in front of him. He was just looking down at the ground, it's just none of them like even looking at the video. They were just kind of staring away because it was a very awkward situation. Yeah, the entire South African delegation was just frankly very like very aghast that this was playing.
They were just trying to get through they're just trying to get through it.
Exactly. They were trying to get through it. At one point, there's a member of the delegation. I made eye contact with him, someone I know, and he kind of just like flipped his hands up, like, okay, what can we do,
So when the video ends,
maybe stand up to Trump
and
tell him he's
Trump
a liar.
turns on the lights. What happens?
So then Trump had this stack of articles sitting next to him, these printed out articles.
What would you like President Ramaphosa to do about the situation?
I don't know.
And he starts raising them up and saying, like, see, these are all...
Look, these are articles over the last few days.
Examples of Afrikaners who've been killed and, of death that's happened. And he took
they
up,
all
like,
happened last few days.
He held one
I
up
read all those articles.
Said, death.
Sorry.
Death.
If it was true, it would be funny, but since it's a lie, it's hilarious.
Death. I don't know.
But you know that
I think anyone, white South Africans are fleeing because of the violence and racist laws.
He's trying to insist that these were all articles about death and killing in South Africa, when in actuality they were not. Like one of them was an article where the featured photo was actually in the Congo, in DRC, Democratic Republic of Congo, so it had nothing to do with South Africa.
So it wasn't even the same country.
Exactly, it wasn't even the same country. And then there were apparently an article that I wrote about Malema singing that Kill the Boer song was actually in that pile too. One of my articles was from 2 years ago. Yeah.
All over this story.
Yeah, exactly.
Next
There we
to
go.
the video.
Yeah,
Trump was citing your work.
Yeah, there we go. So yeah, he starts kind of carrying on about that, and then you have this kind of South African president is trying to say no, and he's trying to interject, and but Trump is just carrying on with the narrative. He said, "You're taking land." He said, "Farmers are being taken off their land, and then they're being killed." And South African president is trying to explain, no, we have a crime problem.
But you do allow them to take land.
No.
You do allow them to take land.
Nobody.
And then when they take the land, they kill the white farmer. And when they kill the white farmer, nothing happens to them.
No, there is
Nothing happens to
There
them.
is criminality in our country. People who do get killed, unfortunately through criminal activity, are not only white people. Majority of them are black people. And we have now
The farmers are black. The farmers are not black.
The strategy of the South African government and the president coming into this meeting was to say, let's make it about everything except for this white genocide.
Trump just making sure it's about racism.
We don't want it to be about farmers.
That it's about his racism. That has to be highlighted.
He kept trying to bring it back somehow to economics.
Trump's racism is the only conclusion you can really take out of it.
The economic relationship between the two countries. So he's saying, no, we do have a crime problem. It affects everyone. Like, black people are, disproportionately affected by violence in South Africa. And he was saying, this is why we need the help of the U.S. because we need
in America,
your help
we
to
have
help
the
our
same
economy
problem.
to get at the underlying drivers